Hey everyone, Gambit896 here, back again with another book review for you guys. Now I'll be reviewing George R. R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire, Book 1, Game of Thrones. This was published by Orbit, I believe, and was first published back in the late 1980s, I believe. This book was part of a four-book box set that I got off the internet, and I'll put a link to this single volume and also the box set that I got off the internet in the description below for you guys. So, told from a third-person perspective, the story takes place in a fictional fantasy world called Westeros, where there's a lot of power and political intrigue surrounding the seat of power in Westeros, which is the Iron Throne. And there are 7 kingdoms in Westeros, and they used to be part of an entire realm, but then they all became independent. The story follows several main characters in this story from some of the prominent families within the 7 kingdoms of Westeros. We have House Stark with Lord Eddard Stark, or Ned Stark, who was the Lord of Winterfell and the Warden of the northern region of Westeros in Winterfell. We follow his wife, Lady Catelyn, his 2 daughters, Sansa, Arya, and his bastard son, Jon Snow, and 2 of his legitimate sons, Robb and Bran. We also meet another powerful house and a powerful family called the Lannisters. We have Lord Tywin Lannister, who is the Lord of Casterly Rock, which is I believe it's the northern region of Westeros. We meet his eldest son, Jaime Lannister, who is known as the Kingslayer. We meet his daughter, Cersei Lannister, who is married to Robert Baratheon, who I'll get on to in a minute. And we also meet her son and daughter, Prince Tommen and Princess Marcella. And we also meet one of the best characters in the book, in my opinion, and in the entire series so far, and probably my favourite character, and I'm not alone in this apparently, because a lot of people like this character as well. Tyrion Lannister, who is a dwarf, but he's probably one of the most likeable characters in this entire book series that I've read so far. But anyway, the story follows. Like I say, we meet a lot of interesting characters in this. One of the things that is quite interesting about this book is we don't have traditional chapters in this book. We have what are referred to as viewpoints, where I'll show you, see if I can get that right up close to the camera. So this is one of Catelyn's viewpoints, or chapters. So basically what this enables George R. R. Martin to do is we can go inside these characters' heads and actually understand their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions, their motivations for their role in this story. So the story revolves around that the Hand of the King, which is the King's closest advisor, Jon Arryn, has just recently passed away, and so Robert Baratheon travels to Winterfell to ask Ned Stark, or Eddard Stark, who is also a childhood friend of Robert's, to come back to the capital of King's Landing with him and become his new Hand of the King, or his new closest advisor. Ned is initially a bit skeptical, but then he agrees to help out his oldest friend and go to the capital of King's Landing with him. He takes his 2 daughters, Arya and Sansa, along with him to the capital, and the story takes off from there, and things are never really the same after that. I won't go any further into the plot because there's a lot that goes on in this book, and I don't want to spoil it for you guys. For those of you who don't know, this book series has been the inspiration for the HBO TV series Game of Thrones, which I also highly recommend you check out because it's a fantastic TV series. With Sean Bean playing the role of Eddard Stark, and yeah, it's just an absolutely fantastic TV series. Overall, the writing, the story, and the characters are all fantastic. The characters are really relatable, three-dimensional, interesting. These are probably some of the most well-written and well-established, well-likable, or sometimes very dislikable characters. They feel very real and very humane, and I have to give George R. R. Martin excuse me, his props for writing such a engrossing, intriguing, interesting plot with equally intriguing characters. Everyone has their own agenda within this story, and each of these agendas come into play, and you come to understand, like I said, the motivations and their feelings as well. This is also done through the fantastic dialogue that George R. R. Martin puts in this story. One of the standouts being Tyrion Lannister and his dialogue and his motivations for his role in the story. The world of Westeros and the regions and all the different kingdoms, they all feel very real and very you can lose yourself literally within this world and within these characters. I mean, this is just an absolutely fantastic book series. If there's anybody out there who's seen the Game of Thrones TV series and you want to get into the books, I highly recommend you do so. There's love, friendship, sex, betrayal, greed, political intrigue, medieval politics. There's great action scenes, there's fight scenes, there's murder, there's great plot twists that you don't see coming, and this is just another of George R. R. Martin's credits that I got to give to him. He just makes you want to read through these books and just find out what goes on in this story. So like I said, overall a fantastic read. I highly recommend it to fans of the Game of Thrones TV series, fans of great characters, great story, great dialogue. Who else would this appeal to? Fans of political intrigue, three-dimensional characters, and just overall, if you want a fantastic read, I highly recommend George R. R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire, Book 1, A Game of Thrones. So until next time guys, this is Gambit896 signing off, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care guys.